Today's video, we're going to talk about Google Ads customer service. The skinny on how to get real customer service that they still have left to offer for yourself. Okay, I know a lot of you guys maybe have remembered the glory days where Google actually gave whether or not their customers actually were happy with them, whether they stayed or left. The reality is they still actually do care if you leave or whether you stay or go. It's just they don't care about all customers. They profile you as a customer, your value to them, and then decide if they're going to give you any attention at all, or very, very little, or bare minimum attention. Let's just be honest. Based upon your previous history with them, so to say, okay? I'm going to go through what it is that they're using to profile you so you kind of understand what you're up against with Google. And then with that, how do you actually get some decent service at the end of the day, regardless of where you're at? So you could actually, if you have a pressing issue, such as an ad that you just cannot get approved anymore, you have an account verification you can't get done, or whatever your issue, you'll be able to get it solved no matter what, given the information I'm going to share with you in today's video. I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a PPC/ad agency which offers help with your ads or clients' ads, and we do not charge management fees until we get that client a certain minimum level of additional profitability or profitability with their ads up front. No other agency out there on the planet offers any kind of contingency or guaranteed service whatsoever, or guarantees on their service, which makes us totally unique and shows the quality of services and furthermore the information that we're presenting to you on this channel. I spend 40 hours a week doing ad testing at our advertising agency on dozens of different ad accounts to get the working information about what works and what doesn't work as far as running ads on Google, not only just Google, Facebook ads, and all the other main places you can run advertising online for your business, to give you the working information about what works and what doesn't work for you to be able to make millions of dollars running ads for your business. The information I am presenting to you here should not be taken lightly. With that said, getting into the content here. So not only am I going to tell you how much service you're going to be able to actually get out of Google and how to squeeze it out of them. Furthermore, by the end of the video, if you watch all the way through, how to get the best service out of Google, regardless of your situation or how you fit within Google's mold here, whether they think you are a priority or not, in other words. So with that said, unfortunately in Google's eyes, you really are a peon to them until you are spending at least $20,000 a month-ish on your advertising with them, which you may be saying, oh, what the hell? Why do I have to spend so much money with them for them to treat me like a human being? I don't make the rules, I just tell you. Don't kill the messenger here. Reality is, it does make sense though, because if you think about it from Google's perspective, first of all, where else are you going to go to advertise that works as good? For most people, they think Google's the only thing that's going to be available to them because they don't watch the videos I share on this channel on how to get display ads working for their business so they can actually run a Facebook campaign in parallel to their Google ads, search ads. They can run a YouTube ad campaign and the like. You just have to be able to use your brain. It's not so easy as to, I offer plumbing services, therefore I'll get in front of somebody typing in plumbing services on Google. With that said, you got to realize that they know you ain't going anywhere else. So they want to increase shareholder value to their shareholders. They're just going to cut down on the amount of overhead and customer service thereof that they have to offer their customers. They got people literally spending millions of dollars a month. So your $2,000 a month that you think is a big amount of money to you, it's literally, okay, so $20,000 is about the range where they start to actually care about you a little bit. And at least from a customer service perspective, they'll still take your money gladly, and they really, really, really want your money, whether you spend, $20,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $2 a month. They just aren't going to offer you customer service because it involves a lot of overhead. Okay? Google even said their goal in their mind is to get people who run Google ads to share with one another so that they provide the support to one another, so that they don't have to provide it because it costs them money. Unfortunately, that works to my advantage because you got to come to a channel like this and even know what to do. You can't just go to Google anymore. And for that matter, I understand also why they made that decision, because it's actually quite expensive to hire somebody who could talk competently about advertising. Because let's face it, when you go to ask them a question, you don't want to know how do I set up a PMAX campaign? You want to know, why doesn't this damn PMAX campaign make me any money? And for someone to be qualified enough to answer that question, you're going to have to pay them 200 grand a year, and they're not going to do it. So with that said, okay, the key in getting better customer service out of Google comes from spending more. You spend $100,000 a month or more, or should I say, if you don't spend $100,000 a month, you ain't gonna get no phone support at all from them nowadays. If you don't spend $10,000 a month with them, as per what I found, and this isn't like a clear cutoff, this is just a general kind of like line as I've noticed it, you're not gonna get any chat support if you're not at least spending 10 grand a month with them. And you'll be stuck with email support, which, by the way, will be coming out of India, most likely. It's frustrating. Nothing against Indians, of course. Naturally, it just goes to show, just like if you were in India, you wouldn't want your stuff to be outsourced to another country either. You would want to be treated with respect. And when they outsource stuff, they show how much they value it. People don't want outsourcing. I don't care where you're at in the world. So with that said, okay, you could spend more money to get more support. You may say, well, I need support so I can spend more money, because if the ads work, I could spend more money. And that's a very good comeback here. That if you and I were having a conversation and we're sitting in the same room, you could say that. You don't have to spend all that money to get phone support with Google. You could contact myself at our ad agency, and we could get on the phone with Google. We could charge you. We've had people do this many times. Depending on the situation, sometimes we'll just do it for free. Other times, if you want to get on a three-way call with Google, we can do that. We'll charge like an hourly fee. If we're on the phone for an hour, we'll charge you an hour, but you will get on the phone with them. It takes to explain your situation, your case to them, because more and more and more people are getting, they can't complete the account verification. And no matter how, and they'll go back and forth with Google support, email support 5-10 times, and they still can't get things handled, and they can't explain their situation, and they need to use our ability to get on the phone with them to be able to do something. And the way that this is decided, you go to Google and you type in Google Ads customer support. The first thing they ask for is your customer ID, that 10-digit ID number that is associated with the account that separates it out from any other account. They use the ID to see how much you're spending. If you're not spending enough, you don't get the same level of options of contacting Google as you would if you spent a lot more money. Because we have an MCC account that manages tens of millions of dollars a month of ad spend, we get the best service you can get, basically. You're inheriting the reputation of our account ID, which is really a manager account ID. Take your request seriously enough. So you're basically renting out our ID to get to where you can talk to them on the phone. Now, naturally, I can't just give you our ID and then that works. That's why the three-way call needs to take place. So if you wanted to talk to them on the phone, use our ID. We'll type our ID in to get the phone number to call, which we call, you're on the other line, if you will. Then when we get a hold of Google support and get them on the phone, you are added to the call. I'll ask the question you need to ask. And then if you have input, you can add it in and you're on the call. So that's like the workaround to get to the phone support that you want, but can't get because you don't spend 100 damn grand a month. I'm not saying it's right. That's just the way that it is. Now, Google reps, you may say, well, can't my Google rep help me? Google reps aren't going to help you even do what they claim to do, which is your ad strategy to help you make more money with your ads. If you need somebody to help you with the account verification, if you need somebody to help you get an ad approved, so you could forget about that if that was your intention. But again, to the point of these Google reps, what they're supposed to actually be helping you do, which is to make more money with your ads so you can spend more and all that, they're not going to do very well, at least until you've spent at least $20,000 a month. Because you're going to get, again, nothing against Indians, but you're going to get Indians helping you if you don't at least spend $10,000 a month. And these are not ad strategists. I've talked about this on this channel many times. And if you don't believe me, think I'm just being go to Reddit and type in, are Google reps any good? And you'll see, not just me, dozens of other ad professionals say what they're saying to you as far as advice is complete. None of it's useful. It's cookie cutter that they're reading basically off of a script. Basically works is there's a list of 20 things that Google wants that rep to get you to do as a customer. And the more of them that they get you to do, the more basically a commission that they get. It's like a sales job. It's not an ad strategist helping you. The quicker you realize that, the quicker you'll realize that they're going to be sending you off a path that isn't going to make you millions of dollars a year in advertising, with your advertising with them. And if it were that easy, your competitors would have already been doing it. What's the difference between you going to Google and having them tell you how to make money and then them going to your 5 competitors? There's got to be a differentiator there somewhere. And it's not just the person with the most money, because money that makes money would be able to spend more money. It really helps to be cognizant when it comes to marketing. There's not, let's all just do business together and we'll all just do great together. We'll all make money. There's going to be winners and losers. You're either going to have better ads in the competition, you're going to make most of the money, or you won't. That's the way that a system is set up nowadays. Period. End of story. If you're going to make money, you can't be using the damn Google reps to tell you how to run your own ads. And for that matter, the advice they give, again, very, 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 very cookie cutter. At least if you're talking about under 20 grand a month. Now, if you spend more than 20 grand a month, then again, this isn't like a clear cutoff. Like, oh, Corey, I'm spending $20,100 a month. Where's my really good Google rep now? Because you may not have it until you hit 30,000. Because these aren't published rules. This is just what I've generally noticed, okay? You spend more than $20,000 a month, you'll get what Google even calls themselves as pedigreed Americans. Somebody who went to school at Yale or Stanford. Their approach is smart because they took the approach that McKinsey and these consulting firms have taken, which is they can't hire an experienced person to help you because that person's too expensive, and anybody good will go set up shop on their own. So what do? Is they get people right out of college to help you who isn't experienced enough to work for themselves, but they get them from these high-end schools, because in order to get in those high-end schools, you had to have a certain SAT, and you basically have proven you're at least of somewhat high intelligence, somewhat high IQ, and they take them young and they mold them into what they need to be for the job, and then they'll suck 2 or 3 years of energy out of them, and then they'll spit them out, and then they'll bring in another new graduate, and that's their so-called Google reps. Now, the advice you're going to get from them actually is somewhat useful some of the time. Should you use them to tell you how to scale an ad account from start to finish? Absolutely not. However, 10-20% of the information they give you can be useful. It's just not going to, but still, in and itself, it's not going to be complete. It's going to give you a couple ideas that you can actually rely on and use, and that's it. Whereas the Indians that are going to help you out, I mean, if you were completely clueless, you might be able to get something useful out of them. But for the most part, almost guaranteed, it's not going to be useful, and the bads are going to outweigh the goods. That is, if you just listen to carte blanche, what they tell you to do with your account, it's going to throw your account so far off into the left field. The little bit of information they did offer you is like a drop in the bucket. And for that matter, you are not going to be able to, if you don't know enough about ads to be able to distinguish good versus bad advice, you're playing with fire dealing with that, with those low-end Google reps. If you can't or won't or don't, you're better off not talking to them at all and using this channel to learn how to do it the right way. I can tell you for a fact, anybody who knows how to run ads successfully aren't working for Google. They're going to set their own advertising agency up because they can make more money doing that than working for Google. What Google reps are good at doing is learning what buttons do what, and that kind of thing, and then apply some basic logic to that and what you're doing, and offer, if we say 10 is the best advice, they're going to give you a 4 advice. And it's enough if you have something that's highly in demand to still make money, but if you're in a competitive market, it's not enough. Which is why people use guys like myself and ad agencies like our own in order to actually make their ads work. I'd say this all the time. If it were so easy you didn't need ad agencies, why do they exist? Are they all scams? Are they all not necessary? No. People aren't giving us thousands of dollars a month out of the goodness of their hearts. And it's a winner takes all type of proposition, or at least, and when you're talking about simple Google ads here, Google search ads, shopping ads, 20% of the market that does the best in terms of ad click-through rate and conversion rate is going to make 80% of the profit. It's been like that for a few years now. Google wants to send as many of their users to the people who serve their users the best that they can, so that they are more likely to click on ads in the future. And the people that do a piss poor job with click-through rates on their ad and conversion rates on their site, they want to suck up as much of their money for the least quality traffic as they can, and if you go somewhere else, who cares? There's somebody else that can do a piss poor job that we can send that traffic to. And that's how it's been set up, and it's been like that for years. And so the quicker you realize that, the quicker, again, you're going to get to millions of dollars a year of sales and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in profit from these ads. You can get to what actually is productive for your company. So with that said, I spelled out here what you have to spend to get a decent Google rep, decent customer service. If you want to get, as I talked about on this video, get on the phone with somebody or at least live chat through the phone to actually explain your situation, or just get a response faster, given even through email it takes 2 days to hear back from them, which is really not good enough for a lot of people. You just contact me. We can get on the phone with Google on your behalf right away. We're talking 1 hour. If you need to. Of course, not always, like I said, sometimes we'll do it for free, sometimes we won't, but if you pay our normal firm rates, we'll get on the phone with and for you, and we can get on a three-way, or we could just call Google and explain your situation on your behalf, find out what we need to do, and get back to you with the actual plan of action, either or. So with that said though, if you're serious about making millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, you want to subscribe to this channel, as I have tons of advice on how to do it the right way, the proper way, that doesn't involve Google reps. And at the very least, if you're talking about Google, you're going to listen to Google reps, you at least know how to distinguish the good versus the bad information, like I was saying on this earlier on in this video. And so the information, though, that you get on this channel is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing to tell you the real information and the real advice about what works and what doesn't work, running ads on Google, as well as Facebook ads, and how to make a landing page that works and so forth. It's the best information, I promise you're going to find on the topic of making millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, YouTube, as well as just in general on the web, versus most of the other information you find is made by people who don't even run ads and they're just pretending to. So you should subscribe if you haven't already. You should also check out our blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. This is a blog that I personally write, and I review and give you the strategies we're using to actually guarantee results for our clients at our advertising firm, which are our go-tos. You should definitely check that out. A lot of those strategies you can literally just copy paste into your account and get the same results we would get using those strategies for yourself, and with very little effort to get them set up, because it's very step-by-step. They're all laid out for you there. Beyond this, if you are looking for an ad agency who actually knows what they're doing, this is exactly, we fall into that category. And we prove it to you, as we do not charge our clients fees until you get a certain minimum amount of profitability from your ads up front with a new campaign or an existing one. And the idea is that we get you enough profitability of your ads up front with our trial services that it offsets any management fee that we charge. The catch is, we don't actually just work with any client. We're very choosy/picky who we work with, but if you want to see if we can work together, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com, and I'll have a quick conversation with you about it. We can see what the possibilities might be with it, and potentially just get you like an 8-quarter projection and plan that would actually explain what the opportunities are and how we would be able to do it, and what results, furthermore, we could get for you in general and on guarantee. We also sell, by the way, ad templates as well. We've worked in, by the way, over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years running this PPC agency/advertising agency, Guaranteed PPC. With that, if we've already worked in your niche market already, you'd do yourself a huge favor just using the winning ads, landing pages, all of it we have for your niche market already. Copy paste it into your account and get the same results we're getting, of which we can tell you the results that we're getting in your market already in a different geographic area or different country up front before you bought the template from us. There's no way you're going to save money doing all the testing we had to do to find out how to get to the results we're getting in your market for yourself. And at the very least, you should just find out what results we've got in your niche market. We can tell you the cost per lead, ROI that we've got in your market, and then you can just see for yourself what you stand to gain. When we sell those templates for a one-time fee, it's in the 4-figure price range for what you get, which is a turnkey, working, profitable campaign. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things. So if you're interested in that, you can also let me know. These templates, by the way, work so good that people use these templates to sell leads and start a lead generation business because the lead cost is so cheap. Or we got people that were, they were in plumbing services, but they wanted to get into e-commerce because they were just sick of it. You pick out a template to sell an item that you can easily pick up from China in a country that our client isn't in, and you basically have a turnkey business as well. So anyway, if you're interested in anything like that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. If you have any questions about this or any other ad-related question, you can also always, if it's just a quick question, leave me a comment in the comment section below. I get back to every single person that leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within around 24 hours time. I love to be able to give back to my viewers just as a way of saying thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow. So anyway, as it comes to support, even if you are patient enough to wait for email support to get back to you in 2 days after submitting a request to them, it's still not as good as getting physically on the phone with somebody, because they can tell you things through the phone call that you just aren't ever going to get to through email. So if you're really struggling to get something done, to get an ad approved, to figure out why an ad is disapproved, take it from me. bite the bullet, reach out to us, have us contact Google for you. It'll be much easier, even though it might cost you a little money to reserve some of our time to actually get on the phone with them. But yeah, that is everything about Google customer service I can tell you in a nutshell. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.
Remember when I said Google Ads customer service was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.